board and I didn't, so oops, sorry. Like I said, using your task 12 will help because you're looking at if they made their learning goals, what percentage passed on the pre-assessment or on the post-assessment, and what was the difference in the percentages. You're really just using your task 12 to help you finish up task 18. It's not nearly as long. I thought it was going to be much longer. The reflection questions are definitely a little more in depth than having somebody check your work on task 12 or what did they ask you to do or something. But those are your in-depth reflection questions. And I wish I had more to say on task 18. I just haven't had one to actually look over yet. Does anybody have any questions on task 18? Anybody?
Not until I do.
No.
Right, not until you do task 12. And that's the hard part is if you haven't done 12, task 18 doesn't even make sense to you yet.
Right,
Have you started
You'll
task
have a-
12?
I am working on task 11. I've jumped a little around. I've done task 14, so I'm working on task 11. And
Okay,
then I want to jump on 12. I've looked at 12.
okay.
I kind of freaked out when I saw it.
Yeah, I freaked out when I saw that I was grading it, trust me.
So, I mean, I've taken a look at a few of them ahead, including task 18. And like I said, I looked at task 12 and I said, holy crap. And I
I
get
If
what-
it makes you feel better, I would say that task 9 and task 12 are probably the hardest, most time consuming ones.
There you go.
Well, I did task 9 and that woman graded it almost the day I put it in there and it was fine. I was like shocked that there was not, I was expecting some feedback, but I didn't get any other than she passed it.
Okay.
Hey,
So,
all right.
If you
I'm
just
not
say
as
9 and
quick to grade as some people. Just Lisa asked me to take on 2. I've done task 4, like I said, for a year. And she's like, hey, do you want some more tasks? I'm like, sure. She goes, how about 12 and 18? I'm like, sure, what are they? No clue. So I printed, Ms. Clark, when you submitted it, I went and looked at task 12 and I went, oh my gosh, what have I done? And I'm still trying to figure out online and face-to-face with 3 grade levels. So I put it on the burner for a little bit because I couldn't even function with it. And once I started looking through it, it wasn't as bad on the grading portion. Now that's not the work portion.
when I looked at it, I said, let me do task 11 first.
Right. You kind of have to be ready for it.
And
But go
then,
step by step and put in it, the details exactly as the rubric is asking, and I think you'll be okay.
and like I did task 4 and you thought it was fine. I mean, you sent it back saying it needed more numbers on it and I put everything in that you asked for.
Right.
Then it was fine.
Yeah,
So that actually yours is the first one that I've ever had come back to me.
I'm not being, I'm just kidding.
Out of about the 12 I've done, yours is the first one that which was fine. I'm looking for feedback, so it's not,
Right.
so
And
I
I
like
always
feedback.
feel guilty when I give feedback. I have to tell you that I always feel guilty, like I'm adding more to someone's plate. You know, I don't want to be the straw that broke the camel's back or anything, but
Oh, you were, but I got over it.
thank you.
It's helpful when we get feedback.
And then put the numbers in and then, did everything you asked.
Right, and I appreciate it. So for task 4, which is one of the first tasks, from what I understand, the first 3 tasks, what was the word they used?
Can be completed without students.
Say it again.
Can be completed without students. You
Okay.
don't need student work for those.
So I think those might be, I don't want to say easier, but a little less time consuming. And from what I noticed on task 4 is like a lot of people would submit and I would have to say, you've got to do this. I mean, it's like half completed and they're going, well, what do you mean? And it just, there's task 4 has a lot of exact steps to it. So I'm going to go through task 4 right now because this is the one I've graded the most. Actually, quite a few of them. So the cover sheet is just the cover sheet. I mean, it hasn't changed from any of the tasks. I like to see a little more in depth. Some people, they do or they don't. But it helps me understand your classroom a little bit more. The one thing I have a huge problem with on task 4, and I honestly don't believe it has anything to do with anybody, is we always want to be the best at everything. So when you do the assessment indicators, you want to put all 3s and 4s because you think you're supposed to. I'm the only one that sees these, or whoever's grading it, but it's me. And then you put it in your portfolio, and you may look at it again, and the person that does your final stuff probably looks at it, but nobody else looks at this.
No, thank you, Patsy.
Really. So be as honest as you can, because this isn't going to an evaluator or your principal or anybody like that. And honestly, I don't remember half the names that I see, but this one gave herself all 4s and 3s. She's not in this group, and she's not even in the PDCP program, which is why I pulled this paper. Okay, so I don't want you to think I would do it to anybody, but I've blacked her name out of everything as well also. So just to let you know, all 3s and 4s, and the rest of this task is based on what you need to do in professional development to improve. So if you're already giving yourself all 3s and 4s, you're saying there's not much improvement I need to do. And I'm in my 21st year of teaching, and there's a lot of improvement I can still do. So I don't even know if I could give myself, definitely not all 4s, and in some 3s, because of the kids that I teach, the type of questioning and things that I have to do, it would be hard to say, yeah, I do higher order thinking questions every day when I have a 6th grader on a 1st grade level. I mean, the higher order is very difficult to get to.
Yeah.
But if you look through the indicators, the FEEP indicators, it'll help you understand in depth what a 3 or a 4 should mean. And it's not a bad thing to say, hey, I might need help with this, or I need to improve on this. That's kind of what we do as learners. So just be as honest as possible on this if you can. I've had to send quite a few back, and I even had one keep arguing with me. So I sent that one to Lisa Stanley. I'm like, I don't know what else to say to her. She's a 1st-year teacher, and she's telling me she's perfect at everything. So
I would love to meet that person.
I know, I was gonna say, give me her number.
Well, I want her number too after 21 years. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I want to know how she gets the confidence.
Kelly, sorry,
Exactly.
what class was that?
So, I mean, and it's frustrating to read it, because the minute I scan to make sure all the parts are there, I look and see if there's any 1s or 2 in this task. And if there's not, I already know, kind of like, okay, I'm gonna have to, you know, get ready to do something or explain it differently. I had one that reversed the numbers, and once I explained it, she's like, oh, never mind, and went back and changed it.
Well, with you gave me good feedback. It wasn't, I didn't take it as a negative feedback, and I just looked at it and said, you know what, she's right. Let me put the numbers in that she's looking for, and went back and figured out what my numbers were.
And I know if you've gotten rid of the data or anything like that, that makes it hard. But to me, doing it like this helps get you set up for other tasks that you may need, you know, to be very specific on.
Right.
So here on the indicators, like, I'm gonna have to kick this one back, because as you can see, she says I gave myself a 3 or I gave myself a 4. Well, that's not, the directions say a score of a 1 or a 2. And all you have to do is tell me which indicator it was and what the score was, a 1 or a 2. That's all you have to do on this portion. And I think this is the one where we needed the scores on yours, Patrick, is you're finding the area of student need. What data source is it? FSA. We use iReady a lot in elementary school. If you have an end of course test or anything like that, you can use those in high school or anything. And then a percentage of your students that need to make an improvement. I get a lot of exact percentages, like everybody is 50% needs improvement in every test they list. Well, that's, I don't mean to be picky, and I won't kick it back for not an exact percentage, but you know, look at the data. I hope you're looking at it anyway. And I kind of like specific standards, because this is just reading standards for literature. There's a lot of reading standards in literature. So
Yep.
right? I mean, this is telling me that 50 to 75% of her students need improvement to be at grade level. which standard? I mean, which one are we talking about? Pick one. You can pick 3, it doesn't matter, but just reading standards doesn't help a lot. And writing standards down here at the bottom is very tough to decipher what's going on. And I look through these, this portion doesn't so much carry over to the next part of the task, but it is informative to see what your students need to work on in your classroom. And then the last part is the evaluation and observation data. That's anybody that's observed you. If you didn't get an evaluation last year, I didn't get one. They didn't have time to come. We canceled before then. You can use from the previous year, or if you have a mentor teacher that comes in to observe you, or even an informal observation. Now, this one does not have to have 3s or 1s or 2s. It can be something your mentor teacher said you might need to work on, classroom discipline or something like that. And you can just list it here and tell me which indicator they asked you to work on, and what data did they use? Did they come observe your class? Did they look at your scores or anything like that? So that would go under the observation data. And the last page, I think, is one of the hardest pages, because everybody wants to tell me what they're doing in their classroom, and the whole task is about professional development. So I need to know what 2 types of professional development you're doing to improve on your level 1 or 2 indicators. So here, her indicator is continuous professional development. Okay. And then she is taking a course at UCF to help with communication skills, to help with parents, or to talk to parents. Well, then here she's telling me that she wants to go into the community and be a part of the community, to be with her kids. That's not a professional development. So a professional development needs to be, you know, in services, coursework, going and observing or communicating with your mentor teacher, something like that, any type of that professional development. And on the second one, her indicator was to manage class behaviors. So her first strategy is to continue doing what she's doing. But as a professional development, we're supposed to be finding something to help us learn to do new things somehow. And so I'll probably have to kick this back, because then she wants to maintain her reinforcement system, and there's just not any professional development strategies on there that would help her improve on something she should have scored a 1 or a 2 on. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions on that one?
So, sorry. Because this is my first time doing this. First, because I missed the first 5-10 minutes of the meeting, and sorry, I lost my voice yesterday.
You're fine.
And so, is it okay to ask, when does everybody needs to finish this program? Because I feel like everybody's rushing, and I feel not relaxed, but at the same time, I don't feel like I have to. My year is 2022. So I have less than 2 years to do this, which I know it's not like enough, like a lot of time, but I feel like everybody here is like trying to rush and everything. And I just done 1 task, and that was last week. So I don't know if I'm behind or
So Andrea, I can answer part of your question.
Yeah, go for it.
I have to have everything done personally by March, because I'm the last year of my program. Last year, because of COVID and the way that everything happened, I lost all of my work. So I started August with only having like 4 or 5 tasks done, and I am now sitting at 17 tasks done.
Oh, wow.
And so my personal goal is to be done by December 1st, because this year has been really stressful.
Yes.
And I don't like this hanging over my head, because if I don't finish the program, all of the classes and all of the work that I've been doing for the last 2 years means nothing. because you don't get extensions for this. And so my
Right.
temporary won't be converted into a permanent if I don't finish. So personally, I am hustling very hard to get all of this done so I can just not have to worry about it.
Gotcha. And which I also want to do that as well. Like I took 3 classes and I'm taking 1 right now for ESOL.
Mhm.
3 during the summer and 1 year, so I could get it over as many as I could during summer. And then I could focus mainly on, because I knew there was going to be 20 portfolios at least.
Mhm.
So I wanted to make sure that I could not take my time, but I didn't want to rush things because this is my 2nd year teaching, but it's my 1st year teaching math, high school. I was
Okay.
teaching ESOL middle school last year. So for me, it's completely different. And I'm pretty much a 1st year teacher. That's how I see myself
Well,
as.
and being the first year to a new grade level or a new subject area or even a new school is very stressful.
Yes.
So there's 20 tasks. You say you've completed 1?
Yeah, because I did it on the kickoff
Mhm.
meeting that we had
Okay.
last week. So
Right.
we did it together with Lisa, so
Okay.
I could have an idea of how to do it. So that's the only, because I want to finish my ESOL course that I'm taking right now.
I would look
That's-
over the section 1 tasks and pick the easy ones to do. Like task 4 to me, now correct me if I'm wrong, if you've done task 4, I'm just coming in as a grader, I haven't done the task myself, so I don't want to say something wrong. It seems like it would be an easier task to do because it's more about you and you
Yeah, I
can
see.
pull in some student data. But to me, that one seems like something you could do to get your feet wet. And then you would submit it to me and, I could walk you through what needed to be done or anything like that. But I would look at the tasks in that first group and see the easier ones to get done. And I would knock them out as quickly as possible. Not like 1 a day, because you don't want to overdo it, but
Yes.
I won't grade them that
I'm-
quickly, so I don't expect
I
you to
know
do-
they said the first 4 is not really difficult.
Right.
So the first 4 you can really do a month or so and you're done with the first 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a list somewhere, or maybe it was an email. I felt like maybe it was Lisa Stanley sent a thing saying like some of the tests seemed out of the way. It was like 1, 2, 4, 5. I'm making numbers up here. 5 and 7, I want to say, were like super easy ones. You can like just blast out and get out of the way really quick.
It's at the very
No, there's
bottom of
that
the
time one.
newsletter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
And I
there's one
would-
that are like short to do, middle, or long.
Yeah, so you can get like
Right.
5 out of the way really quick, and it's like a confidence boost too when you get them.
I know. That's
You
what I
feel
need.
really
'cause
good.
I
They're
am so
graded, they're
lost.
done, they're in, forget about
Yeah.
them, no more. So,
And what you want to keep track of too is, like to pace yourself, is the classes that you have to register for, because they
Yeah.
only offer
Yeah.
a certain time,
mm,
and if you don't get in, then you find yourself overlapping.
oh geez.
So you want to keep
I
track of
I
that.
did the whole overlapping over coronavirus school
Yeah.
last year.
God bless
like-
you guys having to do all this with everything
Yeah.
going
Yes.
on right now. I'm sorry. That's insane. I wish they would have extended it for you.
I wish so too, especially because I don't get any vacations. I don't have school vacations. I teach year round.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I'm doing the reading endorsement.
Yes,
and
I'm doing that right now.
Isn't it fun? I'm actually really enjoying it.
Yeah, me
But,
too.
um,
Love it. 21 years later, I'm doing a reading endorsement. So much fun. Um,
you can always learn something new, like you say.
you can. You're right. I did say that, didn't
Yeah.
I?
You do.
Yeah.
I'm doing the
Um,
reading endorsement. I'm
Mhm.
behind on 2 of the courses that I have to do. And this is why I haven't started doing all my tasks yet. It's
Right.
like, how do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. It's what my boss keeps telling me. I'm standing there popping Ativan going,
One bite at a time.
Well, I would suggest, like to Andrea, knock out those first tasks that seem easy, that are a low effort task,
Mhm.
Okay.
and get your feet wet with the process of uploading. And, I think I haven't looked at tasks 1 through 3, so I can't speak to it. But I know when I get the cover sheets on task 4, I get a little more picky. And once that's set throughout the rest of the time, you know, your cover sheet's already done. You don't have to worry about that anymore. And then, you know, just look at the checklist of what needs to be turned in and the rubrics. And I will tell you, go specifically by the rubrics and include as much detail as possible every time you submit. And
So
don't
I
make the
can
grader
pretty
feel
much,
guilty.
I can pretty much copy paste the cover sheet for if I'm using that specific class, right? For most of my assignments.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I would, because why reinvent the wheel 20 times? You know, I mean, you have to change what task it's for, but really, why would you change what you need to say every time?
So on the professional development website, I'm reading, for example, because you guys were talking about task number 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading like the task description, and then there's like 2 links. I'm gonna click. So that I'm guessing the 2 links are the what we need to submit. Then it tells you the directions of what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'll follow that, and then when you guys say wait, you said indicators.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to
That's
share
on
that with
these-
you right now, what they look like.
Okay.
Okay. So I know on task 4, there's 4 things that need to come in: the task cover sheet, the indicators, the area for instructional improvement worksheet, and then the goals and strategies. Because that's the one I've graded the most. I know that one by heart. And as soon as my dot cam starts to work, I'll show you what I was going to show you. My kids tell me the steps to share everything. They know if I have done it right or not. They tell me what to do. Okay. So I should disappear. There it is. Okay. So this is the indicators, and it tells you you're going to go through the educator practices, and down here it tells you your ratings. 1 is you consider yourself a beginner. 4, you're very competent at this descriptor. And then it just goes through all the indicators pretty much that are on your evaluations, instructional design and planning. And then you have to choose here what you think you are. Again, I don't know if you guys can see that or not.
Yes.
And so say you want to give yourself a 1 for that you align instruction. That's one you would put on the other list on the next page, and you would tell me aligns instruction, I gave myself a 1, and you would list all your 1s and 2s. Okay.
Gotcha.
This one is all 3s and 4s, so I'll deal with that later. Then you go through the learning environment, and it gives all the different parts, and you can look up, I mean, obviously on here it says it, but also on the rubric for your formal evaluations gives you the indicators of what would be a 4, because 4s are usually have the word always or all the time, things like that to make it a 4. I mean, I can look at these and go, yeah, I do that sometimes. Well, that's not a 4. A 4 is, I'd like to say 99% of the time you do that indicator. And then you go through that, and it's 5 pages long because it's a lot of indicators. So there's a lot of self-thinking and self-evaluating about it, but no student involvement really needed. And then you would use those to fill in right here, the indicator list, where this is where you would list your 1s and 2s and what the indicator was. Again, this one that I got in today, they're all 3s and 4s, so I have to deal with that later. But that's the indicators that you would do for the worksheet, and you would upload it to the Blackboard.
And then you did mention something about, correct me if I'm wrong, something about like the last year's evaluation. Does it matter? Because like I said, I have the same evaluator this year. Because I'm still in the same cohort. But does it matter that I was teaching a different subject, or would you rather?
No, that doesn't matter.
Okay. And then do I use that as a reference, or do I use a?
You would put that, so the way it printed is funny, but it starts off down here, areas for instructional improvement based on evaluation or observation data. And here you would just tell me what indicator or a domain they want you to look at, and kind of what they used as an evaluation. You can even tell me they said, hey, I need to work on classroom discipline a little bit. So, and you may only have one or two things here. You may only have one. Even if it was just kind of an observer walking through your room and said, hey, when I walked through, I noticed that you asked all level 1 questions, all right there questions. Maybe you should think of, some harder questions. You can write that down and just tell me who the observer was, and just like an informal observation. Because when you come to the, hold on, let me turn the page. When you come to the goals and strategies, you're gonna pick one of the areas that you said you needed to work on, or that an observer said you needed to work on, and you're going to put it here. This is why I stayed at school. You're gonna put it here so I know which indicator you wanna work on, and then you're going to list the strategies, the professional development strategies you're gonna use to improve it. Okay?
Gotcha. Let me see, because I'm trying to find the goals. Okay, found it. And then when you say strategies, what do you mean by?
At the top of this page, these are professional development type strategies that you can use. Hold on, Desi, I'm gonna send you something.
Okay.
Just because my email, and I was gonna tell everybody this also, is not the first Kelly Bishop you see. Okay. So, real quick while I explain to Desi, there's 2 Kelly Bishops in the county. I just got married a year and a half ago, so she was here first. So mine is bishop.kellyl for my middle name. If you send her an email, she'll send it to me, but it's easier just to send it straight to me. I'm at Creel, so if that helps, find me on the email list. But you guys can email me anytime. That's a given that I would help at any time. Okay?
Well, thank you.
All right, Desi, good luck.
All right. Good night,
Thank
guys.
you.
Good
Good
luck.
night. I'm also gonna head out too.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Did you understand the professional developments? It can be a
Yes.
course that you're taking. It could be talking with your mentor teacher, or even your cohort that you were talking about. It can be, just a veteran teacher that you've picked their brain and gotten some ideas from. Anything that's going to help your professional practices improve can be listed as a professional development. Continuing to do something you're already doing is not a professional development, which is what I have on here. They're just going to continue to do what they're doing. So this paper is going to be kind of kicked back for a little bit. But any collaboration, you may do some research on the internet to help you improve your practice somehow, and that's definitely a professional development that you could use. Or anything up at the district, of course, through I'm gonna lose that word. Any of the professional development they offer up at the district, you can use to help.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anything like that.
All righty.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Good luck. Email me if you need me.
Yes, you're gonna hear from me a lot.
That's okay.
Because yes, I definitely need that.
That's
Thank
okay.
you.
Email me. I put my email in the chat, but it's
Awesome.
also, I'm at Creel if you need me.
Yes, I do see your email on
Okay.
the I print everything, and
There you
I
go.
need to have everything on my face or I will get crazy. I
Yeah.
cannot do the computer stuff. I might look young, but I'm not that young.
Well, there you
So
go.
I don't like computer stuff. I don't like
I
to
print
know.
all the tasks because I don't want to scroll on the computer. So
Yes, that's what I'm trying to organize myself. I was gonna do everything in order, but apparently after seeing what you guys do and everybody's doing, nobody not everybody follows like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what I thought.
Anybody that follows it in order. I don't know
Okay,
if
so I'm just gonna
anybody
pick and choose.
can attest to that they do, but I think that would be hard to do completely in order.
Yeah, that's what I did. I looked through all of them, and some just made more sense to me right off the bat, and I kind of jumped on those and got them out of the way and kind of left the harder ones for later, just to kind of clear as much out as I could.
Well, you kind of get your feet wet so you understand the process
Yeah.
also, you know, and I think that's
Yes.
important, definitely.
Yes.
So, all right.
Yeah.
Anybody on here have any questions or any clarification or?
I just got on and
That's fine.
I didn't get to hear any of the stuff that you said because I was in a different room. So I don't know how that's going to really work.
Well, I started
Started recording partway through when I looked at my little orange sticky note that I said to record. But do you have a specific question? I do task 4, 12, and starting 18.
Well, it's not, I'm actually just starting the task. So I just was kind of trying to hear if you have a way that I can listen to the recording. I'm not really great with Zoom, but if you tell me what to do, I'll just go listen to the recording of what you already did.
So I'm going to tell you to contact Lisa Stanley to get the recording because she's the host of the meeting. So I think she would have the saved recordings.
Okay.
But I also put my email in the chat right here. It's
Okay.
bishop.kellyl. It's not just bishop.kelly.
Okay.
And you can email me for any of
Okay.
these tasks, but I can also try and help with any of the other tasks if you don't know who to contact. But there is a list of people who to contact for each task.
Okay.
But you can email Lisa, me, anybody, and ask any questions that you need.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? And she'll be able to get you the recordings probably from all of, just when mine starts halfway through, just remember, I forgot to turn it on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I'll do
Hold on
that.
one
Then I'll
second,
just
guys.
ask you.
I had a meeting, that's why I'm still here. I'm leaving in a minute. I'm out back. Yeah, I'm out back, so I'm good. Okay? Bye. See you tomorrow. Sorry.
Thank you for the help with everything. I think I'm in a good spot.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Jason, email me if you need, I think you're what, on 18?
I have to redo 12, and I submitted it so long ago, I have to look at it again and wrap my head back around it and spruce it up, and then I can do 18.
Okay. So you've submitted 12 or you have to redo 12?
I submitted 12, but it was kicked back for some fixes, and I kind of looked at it, but I need to look at what I think. Like you talking about it now, I was kind of like, oh yeah, I didn't. I think I tried to do one lesson plan for a couple that was requiring like 2 lesson plans. You know what I mean? I tried to make it part of the same lesson plan. I need to kind of reshuffle how I laid it out.
I don't remember if I graded yours or not because I just got the 12 and 18 like a month and a half ago.
Oh, you may not have graded mine then.
Okay.
I got it. Let me double check it on the list. But yeah, I believe I have it, and it got booted back. I had to fix something. 12,
Okay.
right? Not. I had an email. Who is it from? Oh, it's from you. Yep. You looked over and gave me some feedback, which I will address.
Okay. If you have any questions, let me know.
Sure thing. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Michelle, you good?
I am, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all your help.
All right. Bye, Andrea. Bye, Michelle. I don't know who Miss
Bye.
Donahue is. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I also came in late. I wasn't able to make it
That's okay.
right away, so I'll go back and watch the recording, but I appreciate the opportunity and thank you.
Well, if you have any questions, or like I said, my recording came in halfway because I kind of forgot to do it.
That's real life.
Let me know. Task 4, 12, and 18, I'm kind of more fluent with, but I can help with other tasks if needed.
Okay. I
So-
appreciate it.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.